How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be continuing my Sharks of Summer series. Sharks of Summer is a series I do around here where once a week, at least once, I take a look at a shark movie. And today we're going to be talking about one that I had heard a bit about, and I'm really glad that I finally got to review it this year, and that is Bait 3D, an Australian shark movie from 2012, directed by Kimble Rendall, stars Xavier Samuel, Sharni, Vinson, and Arden Pang. And this is a pretty fun, dumb shark movie. Now, I don't want to oversell it. I mean, it doesn't hit the highs of Sharknado 3, and it does have, some flaws. It is kind of a, it does have a few moments where you're wondering if that was supposed to be dumb or not, but for the most part, the movie knows what it is and just tries to be a fun, cheesy shark movie for the sake of being a dumb, cheesy shark movie. This one, there's a big flood, and it's sharks inside of a supermarket, a grocery store, and all the people on top of the shelves debating what to do, getting into dumb plans and getting eaten by the sharks. Actually, a large group of strangers in a grocery store getting antagonized by sharks. It kind of feels like the shark version of Stephen King's The Mist or something. And yeah, also a 3D movie. I watched it in 2D, but you could really tell the 3D moments in here. It is kind of one of those that isn't super big on its 3D for most of it, relatively standard movie, but then you get to like a big action scene and they'll start pointing things at the camera and sharks will jump right at the camera. It's one of those with real on-the-nose, cheesy 3D moments, and that can be pretty fun as well. So, not the best movie ever, but as far as cheesy, dumb fun, it's got a decent budget where they had a decent amount of, shark sequences, and they could actually flood this supermarket set. Yeah, a pretty cool set when they actually fill the whole thing up with water. It is really interesting looking. So, overall, one of the better silly, cheesy shark movies, and I can definitely recommend it for the right crowd. Yeah, one of the better ones from this year's Sharks of Summer. Let's go ahead and open up talking a bit about the plot. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but I want to use this as a moment to dig down and analyze the movie a little bit farther. I'll steer away from the ending, though. Anyway, we open up with a scene that really does set the tone of this movie. You get this guy, and he's a lifeguard, and he has a fiancée, and the fiancée's brother is also a lifeguard. Well, one day they're at the beach, everything's going great, the brother's in the water, and he sees a shark, and it's this big, overly dramatic scene of him hopping on a jet ski, sailing towards the brother. There's some waves, so he gets some sick jumps in, but of course, the shark comes up underneath, snaps the guy's board, pieces fly everywhere, the shark flies right at the camera, and of course, the shark gets the fiancé's brother, and he yells up, "No!" in this big, overly dramatic, overly cheesy way. And that tells you from the beginning. It's over the top, it's cheesy, that sort of comedy drama there. "No, the shark got my friend!" We know what kind of movie we're in for pretty quick. A good, dumb, fun movie. We then jump to the, again, overly dramatic, sad future. This guy's life has really gone downhill. He's no longer with the girl anymore, so he's all on his own and depressed. And now he works at a grocery store, which feels like a pretty significant career downgrade. Earlier, you were having fun at the beach all day, and now you're in depressing retail position. That is from experience, not good. But anyway, he's working at the grocery store when, of course, who walks back in from outer space? But his girlfriend shows up. He hasn't seen this girl in years and years and years, and the girlfriend's there, and she has a new boyfriend, so his life was already terrible. Now he's reminded of the past, and he's devastated. But don't worry, the convenience store quickly floods. And boy, yeah, it's quite a big epic flooding scene. A lot of people die before the sharks even show up. Just the water coming in, tearing everything up. It's a pretty intense sequence. And yeah, a lot of people die before the sharks even get there, but they climb on top of all the shelves. What can we do? What are our options? Is that a shark in the water? And yeah, you get a bunch of people, again, kind of like The Mist, that don't really know each other. They'll fight with each other, and okay, some of the drama is a little stupid, and it's not the best survival movie. I wish there were cleverer moments, but it still is a really interesting setup, and it does have that sort of bombastic energy to actually, flood a grocery store. It's a grocery store shark movie. That's crazy. One thing out of the specifics I really do have to get into, though, is there is a ton of characters in this, and it is a crowded grocery store that doesn't know each other, but there is a lot of characters, There is the guy, the girlfriend, her new boyfriend, you get a few random store employees, the manager, you get a cop that's there because his daughter was shoplifting. In addition to the daughter being a criminal, there are a few other actual criminals there who are going to rob the store right as the big wave came in. So yeah, there's a bit going on, and there's actually, I don't know, maybe it's just me, a lot of the characters looked a little bit too similar. Like, the main lead of this movie looks a bit too much like the random male employee, and there was the shoplifting daughter looked a bit too much like the random female employee, and actually the cop and the criminal looked relatively similar with those shaved down haircuts. And again, maybe it was just me, but I wish there was a little bit more variety in the characters' appearance, because there were a bunch of characters, and sometimes I would get mixed up for a second. Why is the main character in the parking garage? He was supposed to be upstairs. Oh, and I guess I should mention the parking garage. Yeah, there's a bunch of characters upstairs. There's even more characters in the parking garage. Primarily this couple who was in their car making out when all the water hit, and they have a little dog. Bear in mind, this movie actually came out before the Meg, so cool to see a little yappy dog in a shark movie before the Meg. I don't know if the yappy dog was in the book version of the Meg or not. I haven't read it. Maybe I should for this year's Sharks of Summer. I don't know. But anyway, I do like the parking garage sequence. Yeah, it could quite easily be written out of the film, but it does shake things up, jumping to a B location, keeping things from getting too stale in the A, and, hopping from car to car, the little sprinkler pipes on the top of the station, and, in vehicles that are submerged, you can get in and out of the sunroof, but when you're in the car, you can look around in the water and see the shark. There's some cool ideas, even though the B plot is unnecessary. I did like it. But I guess I should get into one of the big things with this movie, and I talked about it before a little bit, but yeah, this movie is pretty dumb, and I think a good scene to exemplify the movie, and probably the dumbest scene of the movie, they're on top of their shelves, and a wire falls down from the ceiling, and it's sparking. It's an electrical wire, and it's just inches above the water, and the water's slowly rising. And the characters realize that if that electricity touches the water, the whole supermarket will explode. No. No, it will not. It's not a good idea to mix electricity and water, but there's gotta be a breaker or something. You know, it's not just gonna make the whole supermarket explode if a live wire touches the water, but that's what they think is going to happen. So they want to turn the electricity off, even though if it killed anyone, it would only kill the shark, to be honest. But they're worried that the electricity is going to make the store explode, and their solution, and this is where it gets even stupider, their solution is to make a suit of armor out of zip ties and shopping cart pieces, or at least that's what it looks like. And yeah, they get this guy, they make him a suit of armor to protect him from the shark, and they weigh him down with cans, and they send him underwater to turn off the electricity. And how is he breathing? Well, they have a really long hose that they found. Okay, not only is it silly to build a suit of armor, even if it's effective, even if it was realistic, it would still be silly to build a suit of armor. I mean, it's just one of those things that's inherently funny. But also breathing through just a hose, you realize there's a reason that they only make snorkels so long, right? You know, your breath can only push out and take air from so far away. Your lungs don't have the strength to breathe through like a 25-foot tube. And then after all this silly stuff happens, the scene actually has the gall to be dramatic. Oh no, we're running out of tube, how can he breathe? And he's like a few feet from the electricity box. Okay, take the tube out of your mouth, hold your breath for a bit, then turn the electricity off. But it's like, oh no, I'm running out of tube. It wouldn't have worked in the first place. So yeah, there are some dumb scenes like that, and honestly, they get so stupid and over the top that I wish there were more of them. Like, the armor scene is the stupidest, and I kind of wish the whole movie was that level of dumb. There are some dumb bits, and it is fun. I wish there were more. I wish we did get to that Sharknado 3 level, but this is still pretty good. I do wonder how much of it, as I said earlier, was intentional, because you do get, like, big bits of dumb movie logic, you know, and you do get a few pretty bad CGI sharks, and I do wonder, like, how much of that was the joke and how much of it wasn't supposed to be. But at the end of the day, who really cares, because it is still funny, and I found myself really enjoying this one. It had wacky moments, over-the-top drama. The shark would eat people in a pretty interesting and different set, a flooded grocery store. That's cool. And it kept moving. It kept being entertaining. It didn't get boring. It had a decent budget to be over the top. And overall, this is a pretty good cheesy shark movie. Again, don't expect the world from it. And, you know, maybe go to the Sharknado series first. But still, outside of the Sharknado series, one of the better stupid cheesy shark movies, and I have to say, it was pretty fun, and I really did like it, and is probably going to be one of the highlights of this year's Sharks of Summer. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my shark movies playlist. I've talked about quite a few of them. If you want to see me talk about more, like I review the entire Sharknado series, you can find those here. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Shark playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.